As I said, we have a very special guest this week, Mike Abrams. He's been here several months ago, I think 15 and also in 16. He was the spokesperson for justice in our community. That's right. Some injustice had taken place in our community that we as a community saw that, hey, this isn't fair. And that's what the Community Roundtable is all about. It's about pooling resources, pooling human capital together at the roundtable so we can speak up together in order to find justice. And the reason he's on this weekend, because that's what Dr. King was all about, justice. Now, justice comes in different forms, social justice, economic justice, but at this time we're going to talk about different types of justice, because I do believe that Dr. King, one of his sayings were that a threat to justice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And so it doesn't matter a person's color, creed, religion, none of that matters. If someone is being a victim of injustice, it's a threat to justice to you no matter where you are or who you are. So definitely, good morning, Mike, and how you doing this morning?
And I'm wonderful. It's a great time to be alive.
Oh, good. Let me get you pull that mic a little bit closer to you. All right, thank you there. Mike, you've been here before, and like I said, I guess you were, through your passion, your love, you became the spokesperson for the community of Monroe, trying to protect everyone in the community, no matter what side of town they live on, no matter what the age of a person was at that time. You saw some injustice that took place in our community, and you became a spokesperson, and by you became the spokesperson, what I saw was that, man, there's a lot of people that felt the exact same way you did, but we were, because of what Nelson Mandela and Dr. King has tried to implement in us, we had fear. And you were able to overcome that fear. Anytime we have fear, that means we still do not have freedom. Because fear is what keeps us captive. But you were able to speak up, and some people rallied with you, and some rallied against you. And what we're talking about is a situation back then that took place dealing with a local Monroe police officer that's currently, at the time he was on duty, not on duty, but he's with the police department, and he's back with the police department. He made some derogatory comments about African Americans, and I think what situation was going on at that time?
Yes, there was an officer, Monroe police officer, who was active in patrolling our streets and pretty much took an oath and sworn in to protect and serve our community. Well, he gets on his personal Facebook page, you know, and what he does is he was expressing himself and how he really and truly feels about us.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna be honest with you about the situation. It was completely a messed up mindset from the jump about us. You know,
exactly.
Just saying that we were innately criminal, basically.
Right. And you're talking about us being African Americans.
When I say us, I'm talking about African Americans.
Because of the makeup of the city.
In America, yeah, and because of the makeup of the city, and that's
we're 60%.
Yeah, we're 60% black population.
Correct.
So if you already have a certain feeling, or if you already have a certain built-in mindset about me, and you don't even know me personally,
that's
well,
right.
I feel like, and many others felt like, hey, there's no way that you can treat me fairly in dealing with me.
Exactly. This is what Dr. King, this is what he advocated against.
Right, and not only did quite a few of us feel like that, it was important enough for the mayor, and not only the mayor,
right,
but the chief of police.
Correct. And a lot of non-African Americans.
Right, and a lot of non-African Americans.
That's right.
Of other groups. So they came to a decision that, you know, we're not going to tolerate this type of mindset, and I believe it was the right decision because he let them, not only that particular officer, but others that are out there. He's setting the precedence for what's going to be allowed and what will not be allowed.
Well, we want to let the listeners know, do you remember exactly or something close to what he was putting out there? I don't remember exactly.
Well, some of the things were, you know, they at that point in time, they had just had the riots going on in Ferguson.
That's right. That's
and,
right. That's right. Yeah, that's right.
And basically, whenever there's injustice that has happened, the people will react to it. It's naturally.
Right.
And so at that time, there were protests going on about the treatment that they were receiving up there. This is not just a Monroe thing. This is going on all across the world, pretty much, against African peoples. So they're having their protests and they're standing up against their injustice, and we're with them. Even though we're here, and he goes and makes some insensitive remarks about, I know how to clear the rides. Let's drop job applications. Basically saying that black people don't want to work or they're lazy. They're just feeding into the stereotype.
Correct. That's right. Yeah, very insensitive to this culture.
Absolutely, especially when just to make it, you got to work dang near 10 to 16 hours just to make do. That ain't just to live good. That's to make it in this society.
Right. He must have forgot that we're the ones that help pay his salary.
Absolutely, but that type of thinking, that type of mindset is an arrogant one.
That's right.
And he's selfish, and he's only
sounds like he felt to be dominant in this.
Well, that's exactly what it is, and that mindset still exists, and we understand that it exists. So our job is to let them know that, hey, it's not even new. This mindset of the people you talking about, we don't agree with that. And not only do we not agree with that, we're gonna let you know that we don't agree with that, and we'll let those who put you back in position know how we feel about this completely. And we're not gonna waver just because you put yourself in in a position where you can make a decision. Right is right, wrong is wrong, and we called them out on it. So we looked at it as a victory, even though this officer is still on the payroll, still on board. We looked at it as we had succeeded in what we were doing, which is letting the public know that, hey, it's a lot of people out here that do not agree with it, and so it would be wise for them to know that we are watching and we actually love ourselves enough to not stand for it.
And I appreciate that, what you did for the community, because I was able to support you also. And also I appreciate because you didn't go after the individual, you went after the system.
Right.
Because this guy really could be what he believes to be a good guy, but because of his ideology that he was taught, that he was fed into, and also the privilege system. So you went after the system and not the person. And so in order to change anyone, you need to go after that system, and that's what you did as individuals. So I respect you for that. And could you share with us how that system, how did you, instead of going after the individual, how did you go after the system, try to attempt to correct the system?
Well, the thing is,
because he's a civil service employee.
Right. Well, first of all, we have to come to the realization. We live in reality. We live in a real world, and although
that's a powerful statement.
Exactly. We live in a real world, and we live in reality. And in reality, we have to deal with the ugly truth sometimes. And the truth is, the system. As we observe the system is actually kind of working perfect.
Correct.
And when I say the system is working perfect, it is doing as it is designed to do.
That's right. You got to come with it, because I follow you, but people don't follow you.
Right. So let me explain.
I'm looking for justice.
Let me explain what I mean when I say that.
Yes, sir.
The system is set up to allow certain types of behavior if they want to allow certain types of behavior, and based on their actions, they have shown us that they will accept this type of behavior. Hey, they empower, they can, Right. And what they were saying, they was making a statement to us. Hey, it doesn't matter what the mayor do, it doesn't matter what the chief do. We said that we're gonna have it a certain way, and that's how it is.
Right.
So what
you're talking about is that if I remember correctly, that the police chief had terminated him.
Right.
And however, since he's a civil service employee and part of that union, or the civil service board, or the union, I guess he has a union. No, he does have a union. Plus, he's a civil service employee, so he has rights. And so they overturned.
Yeah.
The chief of police said.
Right.
And then they reinstated his employment without any derogatory termination or suspension or anything. And up until the time when you brought it public, that's when they had the I guess a meeting at the board. And then that's when they gave him a tell us about the type of suspension he received.
Yeah, he basically received an 89-day suspension. And what that is, if you receive a 90-day suspension, you're automatically terminated. And so what they did was they stretched it out to the farthest extent in their own rule book and said, we're going to punish him for 89 days, but what we don't feel like it should cost him his job. It's okay for that type of mindset to be over us, even though we're paying his salary.
Right.
They basically made a decision overruling the chief and overruling the mayor. So it was a power move, and since the system was set up that way, they were able to do that.
Right. About him being suspended 89 days, I think that started this year, 2016, right? And he was suspended for 89 days, then reinstated. But in that 1 year, if he had been suspended one more day, that would have been collective 90 days and been terminated forever.
Right.
But
right.
I hadn't seen him, hadn't heard from him, so he must be doing something right or portraying to be doing something right.
Well, I mean, one thing he does know is people are watching.
That's right, and that's the same thing Dr. King did. He believed in collective resources, economic, the power that goes to the people. So he believed in protesting. He believed in nonviolence, and basically that's what you had pulled off, a nonviolent movement. Because I remember the day at the safety center, you were giving a speech. The media was there. There was a lot of people. There was droves of people that were there. But then there was another crowd that didn't agree with what your freedom of speech was, and they became agitators.
Oh yeah.
And they really tried to agitate that situation to create some type of reaction where it could be, because remember the media's out there, and so if we or anyone had reacted in a negative manner, oh, that would have blew up so big. Right.
And but you know, we expect that from time to time. We expect opposition anytime you stand up to power. If you study history and if you study the past, you would understand that those people who stand up to power oftentimes are in a position where they put themselves in a complete war type zone where others, you have opened yourself up to the public, and others may, have a negative feeling about you or whatever it is, and you just have to come to grips with, hey, I'm gonna stand up for what's right regardless of the circumstances. And they showed their face. They made sure they came out. It was a biker gang. They came out, and I guess they wanted to, rebel us, try to ignite us. But we was.
The majority of the time, those people don't even live in this community.
Nah,
they
don't.
Other
they don't. But we're calm. I mean,
you stay on track, stay focused.
You stay in your lane. Then I have absolutely no reason. You don't even have to worry about me. But you cross over that lane. Right. Then it's a whole nother situation. But fortunately we weren't. We didn't. They was just there to kind of like that dog barking on the outside of the fence. He real tough.
Trying to create intimidation.
He real tough. But if you mess around and jump at him,
That's right. Yeah. They probably were not even registered voters.
Well, I don't even. I wasn't even focused on them
there
per
you go.
se.
That's right. That's right.
We had a mission, and we were successful in our mission.
Well, good. Now, Mike, I see